Hello and welcome. My name is Biagio Mazza. I'm pastoral associate here at St. Sabina's Parish in Belton, Missouri. And I'm here to unpack another do you know question. And this time the question is, what is the Triduum? The sacred Triduum, or the Paschal Triduum as it's referred to, are the 3 days that celebrate the passion, death, and resurrection of Jesus. It begins with the evening of Holy Thursday evening and then moves on to Good Friday and Holy Saturday and culminates actually in the celebration of Jesus' resurrection at the Easter Vigil and celebrated all the way into Easter Sunday with the evening prayer on Easter Sunday. So the Triduum comes to an end on the evening of Easter Sunday. And the origin of the Triduum is very interesting because it began originally as one-day celebration, or preparation, I should say, for Easter, often referred to as the Vigil, where you stayed up nightly and you anticipated the preparation and were anticipated and prepared for the resurrection of Jesus. But then, Christians began to realize that there was so much in the whole process that led to Jesus' passion, death, and resurrection, and so many things that occurred during those days that they felt that they needed more time to celebrate and to prepare for the actual resurrection. And so they extended the preparation time to 3 days, kind of beginning to recall many of the events that occurred to Jesus those last few days of his life. Eventually, due to influences primarily from the liturgies that were celebrated in Jerusalem, where pilgrims would actually travel to the actual places where Jesus was underwent his passion and death. Through that influence that started to move over into Europe, what started to happen is the preparation time extended to a full week, beginning with Palm Sunday, which was Jesus' triumphal entry into Jerusalem, and ending with his passion, death, and burial. And that would have been today we still use that term, the Holy Week. We begin with Palm Sunday and end with the Easter Vigil, where we celebrate Jesus' resurrection. The history, what happens during the actual celebration of the 3 days is really very fascinating, because it was revised in 1955, in November 1955, by Pope Pius XII to capture the symbolism of the liturgy in preparation for the 3 days of the Triduum. And on the first night, which is Holy Thursday, it begins officially. Let's go back. Officially, Lent ends with the evening liturgy on Holy Thursday. It officially ends, and the season, this mini season of the Triduum, this 3 days, actually begins. And we begin with Mass on Holy Thursday, which commemorates, celebrates two of the most important aspects of Christian life. One is Eucharist, the commemoration of Jesus' Eucharist at the Last Supper. And the other one is the service that we are all called to, service to one another, the call to service that Jesus' whole ministry invited us into, was symbolized at the Last Supper by the washing of the feet. These are the two key events of the Holy Thursday celebration, which highlight the most significant aspects of Christian life. The Mass ends with a procession of putting Jesus in what is known as a repository, in which it's essentially reenacting, if you want, the passion that Jesus is going to undergo, beginning with Holy Thursday evening, his arrest in the Garden of Gethsemane, and eventually his whole, the passion that endures for all of Good Friday. And Good Friday is a very somber day in the liturgical cycle. There are no Eucharistic celebrations celebrated on Good Friday. Rather, we enter church and we leave church in silence, And during the celebration, we humble and bow ourselves before the cross of Christ. We listen to the Passion and to the various words that speak about Jesus' Passion. And then we do something that we don't do the entire year, and that is venerate and honor the cross, the wood of the cross on which Christ was crucified. And finally, the liturgy ends with the community celebrating, not so much celebrating Eucharist, but actually receiving Eucharist from the previous evening. No Mass is allowed, no Eucharistic liturgy is allowed on Good Friday. And then the celebration ends on a quiet note. Everyone leaves in quiet. And then Holy Saturday is really a day of essentially anticipation and waiting. And with sundown on Holy Saturday, we begin the Easter Vigil, which is the proclamation and celebration of Jesus' resurrection. And we begin with Easter fire outside. We light the Easter candle, symbolic of Christ's resurrection. And we move from there to the proclamation of the joy and the proclamation of Jesus' resurrection. And it is at this time that we celebrate all the initiation sacraments of those who are preparing for baptism or those who are entering the church into full communion. So it's a joyous celebration of Christ's resurrection, which will endure and continue for the next 50 days. And so hopefully that gives you a good brief summary of what the Triduum is all about. And hopefully this will entice you to at least try to celebrate the Triduum with your parish community wherever you're located. It is one of those rare times throughout the year where we can enter with the whole community into the celebration of Jesus' passion, death, and his resurrection. So thank you very much, and I hope you will return to pay more attention to more do you know questions. Thank you.